Hello, you are all welcome. Thanks so much for everything you are doing. We are so much grateful, especially to our parents for their time and attention. We say God bless you. Okay, quickly, let us look at what we have today. We have grammar and we are going to look at quantifiers. Something we started with last week before we went on break for our exams. We defined what a quantifier. We looked at what a quantifier is, and we also gave some examples. So they want to look at each of the quantifiers and how they are being used in sentences. So for objective today, we are going to look at how to identify the nouns and the words that go with them. Them you're referring to the quantifiers we have above there. We want to look at the nouns and the words that go with them. We should be able to identify the nouns in sentences, okay, and the words that go with them. Then also tell the difference between qualify and quantify in a sentence. Tell the difference between these two. All right, but for our lesson today, we are going to strictly look at just three of this. That is, we are going to look at each, all, every, okay, each, all, every. All right, so before we proceed with today's lesson, let us have a flashback on what we did last 2 weeks. Okay, what did we say about a quantifier? Or when you ask what is a quantifier, what comes in mind? All right, so if your answer is a quantifier is a word that gives us information about the number or amount of something. Okay, a quantifier is a word that gives us information about the number or amount of something, and that something is a noun. I hope that is clear. That something is a noun, so it gives us an idea, it gives us an information, it gives us a clue about the number or amount of something. Okay, very good. So we want to look at the use of all, every, each. All, every, each. Now, when do we use this one? When we use this one, what do they mean? These words mean the whole number of something in a group. It means when these words are used, we are talking about the whole number of something in a group. Okay, it's going to say that the difference is how we use them. The difference is how we use them. But in any case, when you're using this word, certainly you are dealing with a group. Okay, you are dealing with the whole number of something in a group. All right. Let's look at how to use them with nouns. How to use them with nouns. So when we use all or all together with the article there, it is followed by a plural noun or an uncountable noun. So we should know plural nouns and also know uncountable nouns. Okay, when we talk about plural nouns, referring to nouns that are more than one. Okay, so we have children, pencils, women, men, boys, and so on. Okay, when we talk about uncountable nouns, we define them to be things that we cannot count. Okay, we cannot pick them to count. We can only count them when we put them in units. Okay, unit of measurement where they are being measured either with a cup or with a tin, then we can count. But we cannot pick them as in particles or as in bit to count. Example of such nouns We have what? Water. Okay, you see the liquid water? Yes, we cannot count it. Soil or sand. Okay, air. I hope that is clear. All right. Now let's look at the sentence below. All the new students have their own rooms. All the new students have their own rooms. We can also have all new students have their own room with the where we have the omitted in that sentence. All new students have their own rooms. All the new students have their own. So in this sentence, we have the plural now, which is what? Students. And we also have the quantifier all. Then the second one says all the recent information is on the website. All the recent information is on the website. Okay, so you realize that information here is an uncountable noun. Okay, yes, and it doesn't have its plural form. That is why we see it this way. Do you understand? Okay, but all can also go with is here because of the noun here. I hope you're understanding this, because we said that these nouns can refer to a group of things, but it depends on the meaning you want to make, how you use it. So all the information is on the website. I hope that is clear. All right. Now let's look at each and every. Each and every. These words are followed by a singular noun. These words are followed by a singular noun. Every and each can often be used in the same place. Okay, it means you can change them and use them. But preferably, every is used when we are thinking about the whole number in a group. When we use every, we are considering everyone in the group. Okay. So in the example here we have every student has his or her own room. Every student has his or her own room. Okay, so we are considering everyone in the group. I hope that is clear. All right. Each is used when we are thinking about the members of the group as individuals, but with each, when we use it, we are referring to, we are considering the members of the group as individuals. We are picking them individually. Okay, so that's the difference between the every and the each. So in this sentence we have each of them has their own room. Each of them has their own room. I hope you are making sense. Okay, we'll continue and then we'll see more examples of that. Now we are saying that when we use every, it is for emphasizing. Okay, so we are emphasizing on every single word, on every individual, on the whole group. Every member will use every, not each. I hope that is clear. So when the announcement is made this way, everyone should come to school, we are considering the whole group, and so we are emphasizing on the word every. Okay, so example, I love every painting by the artist. I love every painting by the artist. So I'm considering all that the artist has painted. Okay, and I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. You have eaten every chocolate in the box. So I'm considering the box containing the chocolate, and so I'm referring to all the chocolate in the box. All right. For only two things we can use each but not every. Okay, so we said when we look on the previous slide, we mentioned that when we use each, we are talking about the members of the group as individuals. So we may be referring to the group, but we are also considering individuals that form the group. Okay, so when we look at the sentence here, it says that when we have only two things, we can use each. Yes, so sometimes when you have two things, you can use each. Okay, but not every. That is one thing we should know. When we have just two things, we should use each, not every. So every will be looking at more than two. I hope that is clear. Every will be considering more than two. But for each, we'll be looking at the group, but also considering the individuals in the group. Let's look at the example below. In baseball, how many players are there in each team? So when we go to the field, we have two different teams coming together. So the question here is asking between just these two teams, how many players do we have? Okay, how many players do we have forming each of the team? I hope that is clear. All right, so this I realize that just the use of each is just looking at two groups, two different groups. Okay, so we are saying that we can also use each when we are talking about only two things. So we can't consider every would have to go beyond two things. Okay, all right. So for today's lesson, we have looked at the use of the quantifiers each, all, every. Each, all, every. And under that, we have looked at some examples explaining further how to use these words appropriately in sentences. Okay, and so we said that we should identify the nouns and the words that go with them, and also tell the difference between a qualifier and a quantifier in a sentence. And in doing that, we explain how or when to use all, when to use every, and when to also use each. We supported each of these with sentences. Okay, so in some of the sentences, we were able to identify an adjective which is giving us the quality of the thing. Okay, and then we also looked at the second one, where we have the use of recent, and also identifying that as defining or adding more meaning to the information received. Okay, then we came back to look at the use of all, and then the information, and then the singular verb there. And we explained by saying that information does not have the plural form, so we have it in the singular form. So it is an uncountable noun. Okay, it is an uncountable noun. Okay, if you still want to use uncountable noun, we can say that all the water in the bowl got finished. I hope that is clear. All the water in the bowl got finished. So there we have water, which is an uncountable noun. Okay. Then we went further to look at the use of each and every. Each and every, where we looked at the use of every and each, and we also saw the differences between the two. We said that the two, when we use the two, we are referring to a group. Okay, but one is considering every member in the group, and then the other is also talking about each member of the group as in individuals forming the group. And we gave sentences to support them. And we went further to also look at how to use them. We say when we use every, it is for emphasis, okay? When we are laying emphasis on everyone in the group, not an individual. And then when we use each, comparing that to every, it will be preferred, okay, to use each for only two things. When you are deciding between just two things, we use each. Or you're talking about just two things, we use each, not every. All right, so this is where time will permit us. I hope we have learned something. Let's try our best, listen to the audio and do the assignment given. Thanks so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.